The AI world went into full meltdown this weekend. Social media was flooded with claims that China had cloned OpenAI for just a fraction of the billions spent by US giants. The hype triggered a market panic. Nasdaq crashed 3.1% on Monday. Nvidia collapsed around 17%. It's now recovered back up around 7% today. But was this really a world-changing breakthrough or just another internet-fueled reaction? Well, let's try and separate the fact from the fiction. First, we're going to start with the $6 million myth or figure which they've stated. Here's where the $6 million number came from. Back in December, DeepSeek published a research paper estimating that the final training run for its DeepSeek version 3 model clocked in around 2.8 million of GPU hours, which would cost roughly around $5.6 million, which is where that $6 million number came from if they rented cloud capacity. Sounds shocking, right? $6 million. But here's where the catch is. That number only accounts for the final training run. It does not include research and development costs, algorithm development, data acquisition, buying the GPUs, employee salaries, or any failed tests or failed training that happened. Comparing one final training run to billions in AI infrastructure investments by US tech giants is like comparing a single race car lap to the cost of building Ferrari's entire R&D division. And that's exactly why Wall Street analysts have claimed have said the claim is categorically false. DeepSeek didn't build OpenAI's capabilities for $6 million. That number is an illusion. On Monday, top tech analysts slammed the viral claim. Bernstein's Stacey Rasgon said a fundamental misunderstanding of AI costs. Gavin Baker, tech fund manager, stated that this is deeply misleading. No one is building world-class AI for a few $1 million. The reality is DeepSeek almost certainly used US AI model outputs in its training. This process, called distillation, involves using larger AI models to train smaller ones, making them far more efficient while preserving capabilities. In other words, DeepSeek's AI likely learned from OpenAI's work, not independently recreated it from scratch. Meanwhile, China is spending $137 billion in AI. If China had truly solved AI for pocket change, why would they just announce $137 billion in AI funding? Why would DeepSeek's own founder tell Chinese Premier Li Qiang that US GPU restrictions are a bottleneck holding them back? The truth is simple. AI still requires massive investments, and major players aren't slowing down. Meta just upped the stakes. While DeepSeek was making headlines, Mark Zuckerberg himself made his move. On Friday, he announced 60 to 65 billion in AI spending this year, a 2+ gigawatt AI data center, over 1.3 million GPUs they want to buy by the year end. Why? Because real AI leadership isn't just about training a single model. It's about building an ecosystem that scales. What DeepSeek actually proves, despite the overblown hype, DeepSeek did achieve something very impressive. They're showing that AI inference, the process of generating results from AI models, can be made dramatically cheaper. By using techniques like a mixture of experts, they made their smaller models 90% more efficient than comparable OpenAI models. That's a real breakthrough, which means instead of having all 670 billion parameters active at any one point, they have only certain ones active, and then when the AI speaks to you or you speak to it, it will know which sections to activate. Now that's a real breakthrough, and it's why the Nvidia stock got crushed. Investors suddenly panicked that demand for AI chips might drop if models don't need as much compute power, rightly so. But here's why that fear is probably a little bit overblown. AI's appetite for compute is insatiable. Some of the smartest minds in AI aren't buying the panic. Andrej Karpathy, former OpenAI and Tesla AI director, said deep learning has a legendary ravenous, let me find this for you, the words exactly what he said. He has a legendary ravenous appetite for compute. And he said, I would never bet against compute as the upper bound for intelligence. Former Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger, computing obeys the gas law. Make it cheaper and demand explodes. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella referenced the Jevons paradox. As AI gets more efficient and accessible, its use will skyrocket. Translation: even if AI gets cheaper, it will just be used more. Instead of lowering demand efficiency, improvements could actually expand AI's reach. The big picture is what comes next. And here's what's really happening. One, AI models are becoming more efficient. DeepSeek's advances in inference are real, but they don't eliminate the need for AI infrastructure. Two, infrastructure spending isn't slowing down. Big tech is doubling down in AI, not backing off. And three, the AI hype cycle is shifting. We're moving from the wild speculation phase to a more mature, practical AI industry. This isn't the end of AI as we know it, it's the beginning of a new chapter. So the final takeaway is DeepSeek didn't build OpenAI for 6 million, but they did prove that AI can be way more efficient than we initially thought. And that's good news. Good news for AI's future. So while the markets freak out, smart investors are getting ready for what's next. Because this AI story is far from over, and you don't want to miss out.